Not every great game needs flashy graphics or big-name studios. Some of the best stories on Nintendo Switch are hidden in quiet, underrated titles. Today, we're diving into 10 emotional, unforgettable games that most players completely overlook. Let's begin with a beautiful hidden gem, Rakuen. Rakuen is a heartfelt story about a boy living in a hospital who escapes into a whimsical fantasy world with his mother. But this isn't just a game of imagination. It's a journey through the hopes, regrets, and unfinished stories of other patients. What makes Rakuen stand out is how it blends charm with raw emotion. The art is simple, the gameplay light, but the storytelling? Deeply human. Without combat or enemies, the game relies entirely on connection between people, memories, and the idea of closure. And when the music swells during key moments, don't be surprised if you tear up. Rakuen might look like a children's game, but it tells a story most adults need to hear. In Night in the Woods, you play as May, a college dropout who returns to her small hometown, only to find it both familiar and strangely broken. As you explore, talk to old friends, and wander through late-night streets, a quiet mystery begins to unfold. But this isn't a murder mystery. It's a story about depression, failure, capitalism, and the quiet pain of growing up. It's about how people cope when life doesn't turn out the way they expected. The dialogue feels incredibly real, sometimes funny, often sad, and the game never rushes. It lets you sit with uncomfortable truths, and that's what makes it powerful. If you've ever felt lost in your 20s, this game might just feel like home. If Found tells the story of Cassio, a young woman struggling with her identity, her family, and her place in the world. Set in rural Ireland, the game is presented as a diary that you slowly erase, literally, page by page, as Cassio relives her memories. It's a quiet, meditative experience, but don't let its minimal visuals fool you. The emotional weight is heavy, and the way the story unfolds, through music, color, and personal pain, makes it hauntingly beautiful. This game doesn't scream for attention. It whispers directly to your heart. If you've ever felt like you didn't fit in, If Found might just feel like someone finally understands. Set in a stylish cyberpunk future, the Red Strings Club blends philosophy, bartending, and hacking into a narrative experience like no other. You play as a bartender who mixes drinks to influence your customers' emotions, using those feelings to uncover the dark intentions of a tech megacorp. What makes this game special isn't just its sci-fi setting, it's the deep moral questions it raises. Should we sacrifice free will for happiness? Is emotional control a gift or a prison? Every dialogue choice matters, and there are no easy answers. If you enjoy stories that challenge your beliefs and stick with you long after playing, the Red Strings Club deserves your attention. Imagine running a quiet coffee shop in a rainy, modern fantasy version of Seattle, serving drinks to vampires, werewolves, and orcs. That's the world of Coffee Talk, a visual novel about listening more than acting. As the barista, you don't solve anyone's problems. You just offer a warm drink and a willing ear. But through each customer's story, you slowly piece together their lives, struggles, and hopes. It's cozy, calming, and surprisingly profound. The soft lo-fi soundtrack and visual style feel like wrapping yourself in a blanket. Coffee Talk is perfect for late nights when you just want a story to sit with you, quietly reminding you that empathy might be the rarest magic of all. Kentucky Route Zero isn't a game. It's a dream you slowly wake up from. You follow a delivery man on a surreal journey through the back roads of a magical, decaying America. But this isn't about quests or battles, it's about lost jobs, broken systems, forgotten people. The dialogue is poetic, almost haunting. Choices aren't about right or wrong, they're about who you want to be in a world that no longer makes sense. This game feels like reading a beautiful, sad novel with your heart instead of your eyes. It's slow, strange, and unforgettable. If you've ever stared into the night sky and felt something you couldn't explain, this game speaks that same language. Every family has secrets. In What Remains of Edith Finch, you return to your childhood home to uncover the strange and tragic fates of your relatives, each told through a short, interactive story. No two moments are the same. One story is told as a comic book, another as a swing set, another through a daydream at work. It's imaginative, eerie, and deeply emotional. Each vignette is beautiful and heartbreaking. By the end, you're not just learning about a family, you're feeling their legacy, their hopes, and their pain. This is one of the most creative and emotionally powerful games on the Switch. It reminds us that every life, no matter how short, leaves something behind. A spiritual sequel to the Moon, Finding Paradise follows two doctors who dive into the memories of dying patients, giving them one last chance to rewrite their past. This time, they meet a man named Colin whose final wish is more complicated than it seems. The story takes unexpected turns, balancing light humor with deep emotional punches. What sets Finding Paradise apart is how it explores regret, not in dramatic moments, but in quiet, everyday choices we all make. It asks, if you could change your life, would you really be happier? Beautifully written, perfectly paced, and full of heart, this game proves you don't need fancy graphics to tell a story that touches the soul. To the Moon is a masterpiece of emotional storytelling. You follow two doctors who travel through a dying man's memories to fulfill his final wish, going to the moon. But what they discover along the way is far more complex and heartbreaking than they ever expected. The game uses pixel art and simple mechanics, but it doesn't need more than that. The writing is sharp, the music unforgettable, and the story, it's devastatingly human. This isn't just a game, it's an experience about love, loss, memory, and how we define a meaningful life. If you've never cried playing a video game before, To the Moon might change that. At first glance, Oxenfree feels like a teenage ghost story. A group of friends visits a deserted island and accidentally opens a rift to a terrifying supernatural world. But what makes this game truly brilliant is how it handles dialogue, choice, and time itself. Conversations flow naturally, overlapping like real speech. The time loop mechanics, haunting radio signals, and shifting realities all serve one purpose: exploring grief, guilt, and how we deal with the past. It's eerie, emotional, and thought-provoking. Every replay reveals new layers, new endings, new truths. Oxenfree doesn't just tell a story, it pulls you inside it. If you only play one game from this list, make it this one.
There is something up with her. She has this giant house. She's burying like secret messages all over the place. I mean, this is crazy.
Great stories don't need fancy graphics or huge budgets. Sometimes all it takes is a quiet game with something honest to say. If even one of these titles speaks to you, then this list has done its job. Let us know in the comments, what's the most emotional game you've ever played? And if you want more hidden gems, underrated titles, and Switch deep dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Switch World. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep playing with your heart.